Hello, everybody. I am yet again, Price McKinney. Simply put, and as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, simply put, by your boy, PMAC. YouTube on Tuesdays, simply put, podcast. YouTube on Tuesdays. Like, subscribe, watch a video, leave a comment. So, let me just be honest on the front end. This, as I was thinking about this, um, it's already taken a turn. That's why I don't even want to look at y'all. So it's today we're gonna talk about uh, what is your skill? What is what is your skill? What is the main thing that you do um, that can help the relationship? That will help the relationship grow. That will help the two of you become better. Um, what is the work you put in? Um, what are you willing to do to make the relationship become what it needs to become so that you and your significant other, your person, your partner, can be the best version of you that you all can possibly be? Because the two become one, yes, but as individuals, there are things that you have to work on, grow, develop, um, in order for your relationship to be a success. So again, what is your skill? And I'm gonna do something I typically don't do. I'm gonna read the definition: the ability to use one's knowledge effectively and readily in execution or performance. Also, a learned power of doing something competently, a developed aptitude or ability. Okay. And the last one, which is my favorite because it's simple, to make a difference. So I asked a buddy of mine at work, just casually, randomly, um, what is your skill, sir? And let me say this too. I'm not talking about. I hate to say it, but I have to because I don't want to. I don't want people confused. I don't want anybody confused. I'm not talking about what you can do physically in the bedroom. I'm not talking about that skill, or that's not what this is. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something more so intangible that will help the relationship flourish, that will help your partner become a better person, that will help you as a better person, that ultimately the relationship becomes all that it's supposed to be. So I casually asked a buddy of mine at work, I say, hey, man, what do you think your skill is as it relates to um, what you have that can make your relationship be what you want it to be? And he looked at me, he thought for a second, which is great because most people don't think. And he said, um, wasn't patience because that's and I get to that. Um, Problem solving is what he said. Mine is patience, and we'll get to that in a minute. Problem solving, that was his. He said, I have an ability to help sort through, figure out what this is and how to make this work. And I was like, wow, that's great, phenomenal. I say mine is patience, and here's here's where I got to help you because this is helping me as I'm talking. That's why again I don't want to look at y'all because this is bothering me. I didn't always have the patience now that the patience that I have now years ago. And the reason I didn't have it years ago is because I hadn't been through what I've already come out of to get it the way I have it now. Right? So life will teach you some things. The question is, what have you learned from it, and are you willing to learn, or have you remained in a position to stay um, in some cases offended, you carrying the pain, the struggle of it, or were you able to, over the course of time, overcome those things? Um, Patience is a big one for me. Well, what is patience? Being able to stay calm, poised, as they say, cool, calm, and collective, um, giving people grace, the benefit of the doubt. Now, let's not get that twisted. That is not something that I apply to any and everybody. I can't. That's part of the reason why, again, I've said it a million times, I'm single for a reason because I am working on me. Um, but patience is one of the things that I've acquired over the course of time. My sister even saw it. Uh, God rest her soul. She used to tell me, "Boy, you got the patience of Job." I didn't see it then, but I do now. Um, sometimes that can. Sometimes I have a tendency to, and hopefully this will help somebody. I have a tendency to extend too much patience and grace when I should, for lack of a better term, let it run out or pull back, or in some cases, which I have recently, just cut some people off. Um, because with because here's the thing: when you're growing, developing, trying to become better, there are just some people that can't go on that journey with you. It just is what it is. It's like I remember one of my old pastors used to always say, as the space shuttle goes up, the higher it goes, you see the little things come off of it. And that's what happens. The higher you go up and then you elevate, you mature, and you work on yourself and become better. There are things that you, I'm being polite and I said, there's things that you just cannot put up with and tolerate anymore, right? And that's the flip side of having patience is it also runs me into very little to no patience with certain things because I know my journey, I know the things I've been through, I know how I want my life to look, I know how I want to be. So I have to intentionally keep myself in position and keep people around me, whether they're going in the same direction with me or not. I got to make sure that they're not T-boning me in the side, right? Or I'm not running myself into a head-on collision with people I don't need to be around. So you have to be really careful of that. So that's just one of the qualities, one of the traits, characteristics. I put out there: patience, problem solving, um, listening. Jesus Christ, that one. And again, as I was preparing for this, it was I'm I'm having issues because I'm not in a bad way, but I'm reminded of why I now have the skills that I have now. Um, Listening, being able to talk to people, but more importantly, listening. That's not something that I. Oh my God, one ear and out the other. Especially if I was in one of those headspaces, and I have to be careful of that even to this day, because if I'm a outgoing people person, right? But the flip side of that coin is I'm extremely reserved and protective of myself. So I hit these pockets where I just flat out don't want to be bothered. It's not personal towards anybody. It's not that anybody has done anything wrong. It's not that somebody has said something cockeyed to me. It's none of that. It's just I don't want to be bothered. It just is. There's no other way to say it. So I have to make sure that I don't project that on to people, especially if they're trying to talk to me about something serious or trying to get direction or clarity on something, especially relationally. I have to make sure that I set that aside because that's not their issue. That's mine. It's not theirs with me. It's me towards whatever. So I have to make sure I don't project that on to the person that I'm dealing with or that's in front of me, um, because again, it's not the issue. So that's one of the things that that I've had to work on to become better is making sure that whatever my issues are, I don't put that on people. Because let's just be real. All of us, every single one of us have room to become better. We have things that we need to work on, things that we can fine tune, and figuratively speaking, tighten your screws, and tighten yourself up. Yeah, we all do. None of us are perfect, but we all have room for improvement. So, um, listening for me, and whatever yours. Let me say this too. Whatever your skill is, fine tune that thing. Make it grow. Make it become better. Work on it. As they say, master your craft, master your skill. Okay. So with me, like listening, that's something that I've had to work on, and I'm not gonna say I'm great at it, but I'm good at it now. Because there was a time where you could be standing right in front of me, and I didn't hear no thing you said. Especially if I got 950 million things going off in my head, my neurons are firing on, ping, 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 like fireworks. Whole conversation, I've not heard anything you said, and you asked me I have no clue. I apologize, but I have no clue. My brain is 12 light years away. So again, that's one of the things that I've had to work on. Um, I'm not gonna say I have it mastered, but I'm a whole lot better now than I was years ago. So working on a skill or your skill will also help you understand it. And as I'm talking, this is why it sounds like I sound like I do because as I'm talking, I'm seeing internally how I've been the somewhat of the journey that got me to this place to where I actually do have this skill, if that makes sense. Because it's not most the ones that it wasn't happening. You would be frustrated, extremely frustrated, trying to have a conversation with me about certain things years ago because it just wasn't happening. It just was not because I wasn't there. I had a whole lot of pain packed on top that I hadn't dealt with and sorted through, and other life issues that life happens to everybody. Life is always life, but again, it's how you deal with it and the lessons you take and learn from them. And once you do that, it helps you open yourself up to realize this is who I am, this is what I want to become, and this is what I got to do to get there. Right? It's no different than working out. Now it's been years, and there's no evidence of me doing it then, especially now. But years ago, I had a trainer, and I could not stand him. He told me his goal, and he met it. Please understand, he met it. He said, if you don't want to cuss me out or beat the brakes off of me when you get done working out, then I ain't did my job. And you wasn't finna whoop him because he was fourth degree black belt on whatever he was in. Plus, he was a former Marine. It's not happening. You have to do something different with somebody like that. So, but he accomplished his goal. But the thing of it is the more it hurt, the better the results, right? So sometimes the hurts, the pains, the life, the choices, the decisions, the people coming in, the people leaving back out, all of that combined helps us become who we are. And if you can deal with all of that and you can remain positive, you remain upbeat. Now every day is not going to be peaches and cream. It just is what it is, and that's okay. But just don't stay in that place. Don't stay there. If Figure out who you are, find out who you want to be. If you don't have somebody already, find out. Make sure you get somebody that you can work with, that is going to even help you with your skill. They might already have it, right? you might have what they need. So, as a team, as partners, you become an unstoppable force. So, again, figure out what your skill is, work on it. And I can assure you, whatever that one is, there's some others that are going to branch off from it. And you just keep growing, keep working, keep developing, keep growing until you become. And it's this thing don't ever stop. It's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong journey. Find out what that skill is, work on it, fine tune it, home it in to make you better, ultimately to make your relationship better. Again, I'm Price McKinney, Simply Put. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Simply Put by P. Mac, YouTube on Tuesdays, Simply Put Podcast with your boy, Price McKinney. Again, I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I promise you, I'll see you soon. Thank you for listening.